The end is near of the year 2018, and I wanted to take a look back at my photography work, so I gathered top 10, my 10 favorite shots of 2018, and now I'm going to critique and comment on them. These are put together in chronological order, not by my liking. So let's start with the first shot. This was my first self-portrait photo shoot. I did this at home, not at a studio, in a similar setup like this, in front of a cheap backdrop, which is just a paper. I put colored paper in front of the cheap IKEA lights to act as sort of a gel, and I think it turned out pretty okay. I like the lighting and I like the editing, but there are some things I don't like about this photo. Like the dead space that is here in the corner. I think it makes the photo a little bit unbalanced. I don't like the way this shadow falls on my neck, on my nose, and on the part of my arm. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, so what can I say about this one? I like how abstract this photo is. I like the anonymity of the person. I wish that his expression was maybe a little bit different and his ear was showing maybe a little bit more. Overall, I think the editing is maybe a little bit overdone, but I really like it. It's one of my favorites for sure. Now this shot, you may be looking and thinking, what is up with this shot? I love this moment, but I don't like the way I captured it. There's so much things I did wrong on this one. First of all, it's out of focus, so the person is not even in focus properly. Second of all, this was a heavy crop, so a lot of information was lost, but it's still one of my favorites because I really like the moment. I can see this shot being in a magazine and having a sunscreen ad underneath it. Of course, I like the expression. One thing maybe I would change is maybe the background isn't the most appropriate. It may be better with maybe a beach in the background. But fun fact, this was actually taken on a boat with a 100mm equivalent. It was a manual focus lens, a very soft lens, not very good quality, and I had to manually focus. So in those conditions I think I did pretty well. I just love the underground vibe of this shot. I like the pose. It's sort of aggressive and it plays well with the lighting, and this time I actually like the raccoon eyes. Oh, and the messy hair and the orange details. Again, abstraction and anonymity. I turned it black and white to cover the colors. If I could change something, I would change his outfit and the ground would be cleaner, but that's not something that was in my control anyway. Believe it or not, this was actually just a test shot. I wanted to do shots like this on the upper floor, but as I was going up I noticed this one light, just one light that was turned on, and I decided to try it. And funny enough, just as I left, I pick up my tripod and my things, and just as I'm leaving the light turns off. So I was pretty lucky to capture this shot. In the future I'd like to do more of this kind of concept shots. Back again with the abstract. I call this one hands on shelves. Yeah, not much to say, I just really like the vibe of this shot. And again, the anonymity. I call this one the ET finger. I really love this sort of 3D pop of this image and how the finger is just reaching through the screen almost. Dead hand, dead end. Same self-portrait photo shoot as the last two photos. I guess I really liked that one. I like the expression of this shot, and again, it seems like abstract is my thing. Oh, fun fact, all of those three shots from this photo shoot, they're all straight out of camera JPEGs. They're only cropped. And that's my top 10. Now here are some honorary mentions that didn't make the cut. Now what can I gather from my favorite picks? So obviously I really like the abstract and the anonymity, and I like to have hands in my shots. So that's definitely something I will look after in future photo shoots. And that's it. If you like what you saw, you might want to follow me on Instagram, because I use that as my portfolio. Now I want to end off with a promise to you and to myself. I want to get out and shoot a lot more. I only had a couple of photo shoots this year and I want to do a lot more. Oh, and these cameras, they're just for show. I don't shoot film. Please reci mi da još snimaš. I don't shoot digital. I don't shoot film. Okej, zadni poproszę. Didn't make the cut.